Underage drinking should happen at home, or should it never happen at home? She's looking for your advice.
My boyfriend's 19-year-old nephew is coming to visit us for a few days. I was excited at first because I genuinely love his entire family. However, things took a turn when my boyfriend casually mentioned that his sister allows the nephew to drink at home as long as he doesn't go anywhere. Now, I'm not one to judge other people's parenting skills, but the fact that my boyfriend went out and bought the kind of beer the kid likes without a second thought has really rubbed me the wrong way. I mean, we're talking about a minor here. I can't stop it from happening at his sister's house, but I don't like the idea of allowing it in our house. I expressed my concerns to my boyfriend, but it quickly turned into an argument. He doesn't seem to see the problem with it. He says his parents had always allowed it too. He also said that his nephew won't be leaving the house or going anywhere. So what's the big deal? The big deal to me is that it is illegal, and I don't think it is okay to break the law, even if it's behind closed doors or in your own home. I also believe that allowing a minor to drink, especially under our supervision, sends the wrong message. It normalizes underage drinking and disregards the potential consequences, both legal and health-wise. Plus, what if something were to happen while he's with us? How do I get through to my boyfriend and make him see that this is not okay?
Yeah, I think the first thing you hit him with is legalities of the whole thing. I mean, forget about ethics or values. If something happens to one of those teens and they leave the house or whatever, you're responsible for that teen.
But say for this instance, there are no other teens. It's a nephew coming to visit. He doesn't have any friends there. It's literally just him in the house drinking.
Right.
That's the question.
Yeah.
Because he's 19, and I'm thinking, okay, yes, in the United States, 21 is the legal drinking age, but if he was good to go anywhere else in the world, he would be allowed to drink.
Right. I know the politically correct thing to say. I also know that a beer is a beer.
Yeah.
So if you're not doing shots with your kid or he's not doing shots in the house, I might be a little bit more liberal in my thinking than others, but you are taking a risk either way.
For me, I think if I had a kid that age, I just don't feel like I would feel comfortable drinking with him. I mean, I understand the mindset of if they don't get it home, they're going to get it somewhere else. And I even understand when you get to be 21 or around that age when parents are like, well, you're going to drink with me because I don't want you to be out there drinking irresponsible. But at that age, I feel like you would have to drink behind my back. I wouldn't be able to drink with my kid.
I really feel you on this because as someone who also has crippling anxiety, I'm always thinking about the worst case scenario. So I get from your standpoint, you're probably thinking, okay, what's the worst thing that could happen and what are the consequences? And you're probably thinking, jail doesn't really seem that comfortable. So let's just not get him the Miller Lite. But it's also
for PBR.
It's a little bit hypocritical though, because I will say, like at 19, I mean, unpolitically correct. Like we were drinking at my parents' house, and it was really no big deal. So I guess from like an anecdotal standpoint, like it doesn't seem like a big deal. But I also feel your anxiety in this, where you're like, it's illegal. This is a very black and white thing. I don't even understand why we're even arguing it.
Brace yourself, people. You don't have to drink to have a good time.
I don't even know. Did she say something in Latin? The way I heard it in my ears, it was Latin.
Here's the deal. Nobody should drink. Like, you shouldn't drink, your boyfriend shouldn't drink, nephew shouldn't drink. Like, y'all just hang out and enjoy each other's company and spend quality time together, and nobody drinks. Like, it is unnecessary, especially in this instance.
Yeah.
It's not needed.
As a guy that's had a very dysfunctional relationship with alcohol, and I still fight it my entire life, that is probably the best way to go, for sure. I started drinking as a binge drinker in high school, and that was sort of the pattern that I started, and it was the same in college. And then after I graduated, that's silly. After I was asked to leave college, I binge drank and it's been a problem with me my entire life. So as Kristen's saying, if you can nip it in the bud, then great, do that.
Yeah, I mean, I don't really think you're going to be solving this kid's alcoholism if he does have it by just not giving him a PBR this one weekend. But I think you got to it's your house, your rules. You got to do what your gut says. And I think you got to establish those boundaries now with your boyfriend so that it doesn't continuously coming up the more little nephews and nieces that start running around.
Show.